Hi, and welcome to Executive Mosaic's GovCon Conversations series. I'm Charles Lyonsburt, Senior Content Specialist at Executive Mosaic, and we are the Capital Region's leading GovCon events and media organization. Today, I'm lucky to be joined by Paul Wilkinson. Paul is a Senior Vice President at Leidos and leader of the digital modernization practice. He's a leader in driving integrated capabilities and mission-ready solutions at the forefront of digital resilience and mission success. Today, he's going to tell us about how digital resilience, partnerships, and talent combine to shape the future of mission success. Paul, thanks for being here today.
Hey, Charles, great to see you again. Thanks for hosting the webinar, and I look forward to our conversation today.
As do I. So let's get into it here. First, can you just tell me a bit about how Leidos's practices are enabling customers to modernize with speed, agility, and resilience, especially in mission-critical environments?
Yeah, that's a great first question to get us started, Charles. So just a little background to answer your question. In January of 2024, Leidos realigned all of our digital modernization programs across the company into a single organization called the Digital Modernization Sector. And so that was so we could put a fist around digital modernization capabilities, delivering solutions with greater speed, agility, and resilience. So part of this go-to-market was the creation of 6 practices, and they were focused on cloud acceleration, zero trust architecture, and AI-driven operations, all with resilience baked in. So practices are effectively operating as horizontal across Leidos, and we work with program teams to deliver DigMod capabilities, solutions, and repeatable offerings to Leidos customers. And so that horizontal position gives us kind of a perspective that is unique in that we get to see the challenges that are facing our customers. And in many instances, these challenges are common. There may be nuanced requirements in each of the agencies that require them to do something a little bit different, but these are really, the DigMod are really kind of common challenges that we see. So things like migrating mission applications to a multi-cloud environment, or deploying zero trust architecture to secure the environment, or use of artificial intelligence to improve decision making. So these are all kind of common things that happen in each agency. And so being able to put our fist around it allows us to really accelerate our ability to deliver offerings to the market at scale. And we're really focused on what we call repeatable offerings. So think of those as solution accelerators that, again, we build for common use cases or patterns, and that these solutions then are tailored to meet customer requirements from a delivery perspective. So that allows us to come to a client with a set of capabilities that are already hardened, that are resilient, that have been deployed, that we can tailor and then deploy into the customer environment. And the capabilities aren't isolated. They're really built to work horizontally. And part of that is really making sure that security is built into everything that we do.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. So kind of pulling at that thread a little bit more, as leader of these practices, how do you bring together, services as diverse as cyber, cloud, AI, and enterprise IT in a way that works seamlessly and supports mission outcomes?
Yeah, I mean, really simply stated, we have to start with the customer, their mission, and their challenges that they face. So building an isolated solution to solve a particular problem, or marketing a repeatable offering, or doing something in isolation doesn't really hit to that integration that you mentioned. So if we look at the outcomes through the lens of our customers, and that helps us drive integration into all the practices and everything that we do to solve those common use cases that I mentioned with customers. So a simple example is take like the need for a customer to create a unified data sharing platform that can bring together data silos and create a centralized place for data architecture where they can securely share data and then position for the use of agentic AI. So at the core of that simple example is zero trust, right? You have to have zero trust to secure the data, secure it in rest and transit, to make sure that people have appropriate access. For that data solution I mentioned, it's using a multi-cloud environment to make sure that we can share it out to people at different locations through use of cloud, through use of cloud native services. And anything that involves our stakeholders or our customers, it has to have enterprise digital experience to make sure that that engagement with customers is delightful and it's based on human-centered design. So just that simple example of using, breaking down data silos. We had 5 practices that we have that are really solving solving that problem. So that's how we're approaching the market, is looking at things through use cases and looking at them through the lens of the customer. And all of this feeds into our roadmap. So when we kind of look at our repeatable offerings and where we're heading in the future, we're taking all this input we're getting from programs, that we're getting from our customers, that we're getting from our partners, and we build a forward-facing roadmap to make sure that we can continue to meet those needs and make sure that integrations are built into everything that we do. We like to say that our practice area is the orchestrator of innovation. So using these repeatable offerings that we integrate, how do we solve these common problems for our customers in a way that's, again, speed, agility, and resilience at the core?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess a little side question here with the repeatable offerings. Are those built to be repeatable sort of outside of public sector customers? You know, are they built to be repeatable for all sorts of customers who are looking for solutions from Leidos?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think of digital modernization, it's not unique to the government. It's things around cloud and around defensive cyber and around enterprise digital experience and network modernization and application modernization and AI. So these aren't unique challenges to the government. So yeah, absolutely. Our repeatable offerings are built on commercial technology that we integrate, and then we leverage those for commercial customers as well. In fact, Leidos has a commercial presence, and we're actively engaged with commercial customers in the energy sector to bring these repeatable offerings to market in support of their business needs. So it doesn't really matter what the customer set is. Again, these are common challenges that all our customers are facing.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, you mentioned, these customers and these strategic partnerships. Strategic partnerships are often called force multipliers. How are you seeing them accelerate digital transformation and drive mission outcomes?
Yeah, I mean, picking up on that thread from the previous question, we're really laser focused on delivering mission outcomes for our customers. And you can see with this new administration that they are laser focused on the use of commercial technology that can accelerate time to value for government agencies, that can create a more smart and efficient government. So, you see the executive orders, you see the appointees, and you see the GSA. They're very much focused on commercial technology to accelerate all the things that we're talking about: resiliency, cost efficiency, time to value for the customers. So for us, the strategic partners give us access to this innovative commercial technology that we then take, integrate, opinionate, and use as foundational components of our repeatable offerings. And these play a vital role in our go-to-market. So when we look at strategic partnering, we're looking at commercial technology providers that we can leverage their unique differentiated capabilities and bring together our kind of deep mission knowledge that we gain through managing some of the largest digital modernization programs in the government. And then we opinionate those things and we harden them and we build them out to an 80% solution set that we can then take to market. And we're looking for those synergistic types of partnerships that we can get. We'll partner with, a lot of different technology providers, but really the strategic partners is where we're co-investing. So we build a business plan. We both make commitments that we're going to, put in earnest effort, time, and money to accelerate and create something synergistic for our customers. So I'll highlight just a couple of examples, what am I talking about? I'll give you a few kind of like real tangible examples. So for one of the hyperscalers, we have a strategic collaboration agreement. And part of that agreement is that we bring together our developers and their developers, and we co-develop on their technology stack to bring capabilities to the market that are cloud native. So a couple that we're really excited about, one is Data Connective, and it's a data mesh solution that allows us to bring in an architecture and cloud native services that we can then get access to and unleash data silos inside of an agency with the data mesh architecture. And one that we recently announced was a company called Second Front. And Second Front is an emerging technology company. They have a platform called Game Warden. And Game Warden is a secure environment that's up to impact level 6. And essentially, we can bring in commercial technologies, ISVs, and OEMs, and we can deploy them on Game Warden, and we can get an authority to operate in weeks and months instead of years. So that allows us, again, as the orchestrator of innovation, to bring forward technologies that previously would take 16, 18 months to get to an ATO. We can do that far faster. So that's just helping us, again, deliver things that are securely cost effective and fast to our customers.
Pivoting here a bit to talent, in order to deliver the right solutions, you have to have the right people in place behind the scenes. So how do you strategize about retaining and attracting top technical talent in the competitive market?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this question. I mean, we're now in this era where top technical talent want to work with the government. So this is something I've seen over the last 4 or 5 years where the brightest minds want to come to government and they want to make an impact to our national security or efficient government. And you can kind of see this with, the current administration and the leadership that's being put in place and DOGE, that there's a lot of inbound talent from academia, from commercial, that's really making an impact. So that's kind of really good for the market and for Leidos, because, if you want to come and make an impact in the government, Leidos is one of the leading DigMod providers in the market. And some of the programs we're working on are the largest, most complex, globally, DigMod programs out there. And so people that want to make an impact are looking at Leidos as a way to come and make that contribution. Interesting little side note, we had an intern program that we ran at the corporate level this year, and we had over 900 interns from, I think, 270 different colleges. And we had thousands and thousands of applicants. And that just shows you how much people want to work inside of a company like Leidos, and they want to make a contribution to the government. So that's really helping from the recruiting side. It's really that dynamism that's happening that's bringing people to the government. Now, when we hire, I'm really excited about our community of practice that we stood up a couple of years ago, really deliberately focused on digital modernization, communities around cyber, around cloud, around application modernization, that we are intentionally creating and curating learning paths for people. So if I'm a person that's got 3 or 4 years of experience and I want to move up to my next role, what certifications do I need to take? What training? So really deliberate on training and upskilling, very much focused on knowledge sharing. So people can go into our portal and they can go and they can contribute content, they can contribute ideas, they can ask ideas. So really focused on that engagement layer, turning that into gamification, and then focused on internal mobility. So as people get into their careers, they may want a new opportunity or move on to a different program. So intentional and internal mobility are 2 things that we're very focused on to make sure that Leidos is a career, not just a job. So we've been doing this now for a while, and we're seeing dramatic results on just engagement with employees. Our KPIs, like our upskilling for people in the community, is greater than 100%. Internal mobility is, through the roof, and our retention for people in the community is at all-time high. So I'm really happy about that community of practice and the positive impact it's making on how we attract and retain talent at Leidos.
Absolutely. That's great to hear. Well, finally, here I have one more question for you. It's a complicated and lots of activity going on on the world stage right now. Looking ahead, what is one strategic imperative organizations must prioritize now to ensure they remain mission ready and resilient?
Yeah, so that's a loaded question. I don't know if there's one thing, right? That's a tough one to answer, but I'd have to say, given that we only have a few minutes, I'll focus on a few. I won't stick to one. I'll give you 2, but it's really around prioritize proactive digital transformation with the focus on cybersecurity and adaptability. So when I mean adaptability, we want to use new technologies to accelerate the efficiency of government and decision making, but we have to make sure that security is paramount in everything we do. And we have to make sure that we stay focused on the mission as well when we do that. So I'd say from a cybersecurity perspective, zero trust is at the core of everything. We got to make sure that the data and systems are secured through these zero trust architectures to make sure we're keeping pace with evolving threats, compliance shifts, technology upgrades, all of that stuff. Lastly, I would say that the adaptability, we've got agentic AI and the promise of that delivering tremendous, next level capabilities for the government, but making sure that we have the safeguards in place, that our AI is trusted, making sure that data architectures can support agentic is really, really important. And one more I'll squeeze in. I think the talent's a big deal. Without the talent, none of this is really going to happen. So how do organizations skill that next generation of talent as we deal with, disruptive technology trends, and making sure that we're constantly, learning and upskilling and providing the talent that needed to kind of move our government forward.
Yeah, great insights there. And thank you so much for joining me today, Paul. This has been a great conversation.
Yeah, thank you, Charles. Appreciate it.
And thank you at home for watching. We'll see you next time.